Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you got that Ask Him correct. I don't know the answer to that. Neither does Drew, but he'll figure it out over the next week. But it's time for us to go into the hot tags. A couple things to talk about this week. And yes, we are going to talk about the Hulk Hogan one. I'm going to save that for last, though. We're going to get the other ones out of the way because I'm sure everybody's interested in that. And we'll probably be talking the most about that one. So before you get bogged down in that, let's talk about some easier things. And let's start off with WWE might be offering pay-per-views to people who aren't subscribed to the network for $4.99. I don't really know exactly what their strategy is for this 100%, but I do kind of like this idea. And I think one of the reasons why this is a good idea is because there's some people that, yes, $10 isn't really that much, but there's still some people that's too much to be able to spend a month. And they might only be interested in the pay-per-views, and they sure as hell beforehand weren't able to check it out for $50. So this might get some people interested in that. And really, if you're doing this thing with like, the network's $9.99, you can get all the pay-per-views and stuff. And the, I guess that's like the main selling point when it comes to it. Certain people, I would assume, really are still just kind of bitter about it. So, I mean, I don't know. I like this in general. I kind of don't want to just like ramble too much. But what do you guys think? Is this a good idea for WWE to do this, or is it undercutting the other people too much?
I think it's the smartest thing they can do. I mean, they have pretty much put all their cards in this thing, the WWE network, and like they have to do that if they want to maximize what they can do with this. They've already ditched the pay-per-view guys already. I mean, they're still taking some revenue in that way, but it's not the future anymore, man. And WWE realized that, and actually they were a little late on it, but it's not too late. And this is an excellent business move.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt them at all, because think about it. They actually advertise the pay-per-views as a network exclusive. As far as they're concerned, you can't even get it on pay-per-view. So it makes sense. They're advertising everything into this network, so if they can make a touch more revenue off it, go ahead.
There will be a few people who probably will unsubscribe to the network because of this, but honestly, I'm a little... I don't know if I like it or hate it, but I'm gonna go with like for now, mainly because I really don't watch too much on the network. Yeah, I watch NXT takeovers, and I'll watch a few NXTs and a few shows every now and then, but I really don't touch the network that much anymore, other than the pay-per-views. So I know I won't unsubscribe for the network and just do the pay-per-views, but I can see other people doing that now. But hey, I mean, it's gonna mean more revenue. But to be honest with you, I don't know if the $5 intake was what WWE has been doing for the longest time. But if they only got $5 off like the $60 they fucking charged me back in 2012, dude, I am so shitty now, because that is ridiculous how high the stuff was back in the day.
So what do you guys think is the better deal? Is it $5 for a pay-per-view or a $5 fill-up?
$5 footlong.
I forgot about the $5 footlong.
No.
I do have a question, though. You know how everyone was worried about pay-per-view points and like how much are they getting of a pay-per-view buy percentage? This might actually affect that now, because they can measure pay-per-view buys again.
That's true.
That's very true.
Do you guys also think that maybe their mentality is, if we can get people to sign up for the pay-per-views for $5, maybe when they sign into the website and they kind of look at like the way that it is and they go like, oh shit, it shuts off immediately afterward, and I would have wanted to click on that Swerved or that NXT episode or something, maybe they'll just go, I'll just pay the extra $5.
Yeah. I think it's also, it gets more people to go to the network to watch the pay-per-view. And I don't know, and I didn't think about that before you brought it up, so maybe, who knows, maybe their subscribers numbers will go up, but I really don't know how many people would do that. I mean, Jaden can't even get the damn network, his mom won't let him, so maybe this will be good for him. Maybe his mom will let him fish out $5 for the pay-per-views now.
Moving on to another hot tag.
They might be able to advertise.
No, go ahead, Wago. Wago's on a little bit of delay, so that's why this is happening, everybody. But go, Wago.
They might actually be able to advertise the network very well, because they could give them an automatic week's trial when they purchase the pay-per-view, and then that'd be a great new way to get eyes on the network. That's all I had to say.
Would you do that every time, or just for the first time that you buy a pay-per-view?
First time.
Okay.
First time's probably a better one, because if they do it every single time, then people just keep, checking out everything on the network for that week and then get it for $5. At a certain point, they gotta kind of just go, well, you know what? Buy the fucking network. Let's move on to another one here, though. Alicia Fox suffered a concussion on Raw, and now they're talking about maybe replacing her on Team Bella. If they do that, who should take her place?
Bailey.
On Team Bella?
Yeah, why not?
It gives a NXT person at least on every team, so I would be down for it. It'd be weird, but
oh god, what if they brought up that other fish face bitch?
Oh,
Dana Brooke.
Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
I was gonna say her as a joke.
That's a good one. They wouldn't hotshot Eva Marie up, would they?
Man, I don't know.
Shouldn't.
They could. I could see see them doing that.
Man, there's not that many women on the NXT roster that hasn't been up on the WWE roster yet. So I don't. If they do that, I don't think that they'll go to the NXT roster. They could possibly, throw in someone else. Maybe like a Cameron or Natalia, something like that. Maybe even Rosa Mendes. Maybe Rosa Mendes will get her first win. We never know.
Can they bring Maria back? I like looking at Maria.
And Punk's gone, so you never know.
Well, speaking of divas, Layla has retired from WWE. She says that not only is her age catching up to her and she doesn't like to travel along with it, but she's thinking about having a family because she just got engaged to Ricky Ortiz. Like, what? Yeah.
Oh, she's having a family? That explains them chubby legs.
Dude, it's chubby legs, though. I ain't complaining.
Yeah, we know that this is going to be a big loss for you, Drew.
Dude, it's a huge loss, but to be honest, she hasn't been on TV for quite some time now, so I'll just have my archive of Layla collection on my hard drive. Or always go to the Google search if I need to get my fixin' for Layla, but
Your Layla fixins.
I will miss her. The fixins, but I will miss her. Back when I started watching wrestling again, back in 2011, 2012, she came back, and I forgot how much I liked her before I stopped watching. So I always, I've always found her to be good looking. She's one of the few Diva Search winners that actually go on and do something in WWE, and she had a solid career for the most part. A multi-time champion and Divas champ and a women's champ. Like Cool was very cool back in 2010, 2009 when they were doing that. But yeah, solid 9-year career. Whether she'll go in the Hall of Fame someday, it won't happen anytime soon. But I think she's worthy of it. She's been in there for quite some time, so good for her.
Peyton, what are your thoughts on Layla? Is it somebody you're going to miss?
I mean, if I missed her, I missed her already. So I mean, it's not like anything's going to change. She did her thing for a while. There's nothing more for her to do. I mean, it's not like the Divas division is. I mean, it is trying to pick up. It is almost a shame that she would miss out just as the Divas division is becoming something interesting again. But where would her place be in that anyway? It's fine. She's good to go. Be happy with the next stage of your life, and she can still pop in for appearances here and there. Yeah. Where does she live? Does she live near the Performance Center?
She lives in Florida, I believe.
She might live in Miami, maybe?
I think she lives somewhere. Yeah, maybe she could help out there. So, yeah, I'm sure the next phase of her life is going to be very happy, and I'm sure she's still very beautiful, whatever she's doing.
Of course. She mentioned, doing choreography stuff. She's a huge dancer in that regard, so I think she'll keep herself busy for the time being. And, if she was going to stay around for, this diva resurgence that they're doing right now, she wouldn't be nothing more than, do a mentor student type of thing. I think if they would have done something with her along those lines, I thought that would be cool. But she's been it for a while. She's been the oldest diva on that roster for quite some time now. I don't know how much. Also, I forget her name now, but Karma. I don't know how old she was when she was on WWE, but Vicky, and I don't really count Vicky Guerrero for a women diva thing, but I'm surprised she's been around for that long. Not that many people will still do this at her age. She's 37, 38 now, so I mean, no, good for her.
Did you just call Vicky Guerrero a thing?
Yeah, I realized that as soon as I said this. I was waiting for you to jump.
Yeah, she's a thing, all right. A cougar.
For anybody curious, this does
Like,
not
really
disqualify Layla from the tournament that's going on right now.
Yes.
She is most likely moving on to the next round, I think, if she was, who was she up against? Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Let me
Someone
click on
that
this
wasn't
real
as
quick.
hot as.
I'd
her,
like to
obviously.
just tell all the listeners right now, did you hear that rise of excitement in Drew's voice when he heard Layla could still be in the competition? You can dash that simply by voting for her opponent.
Technically, you can,
you
because
test
the votes don't end until Thursday night. That's going to be tomorrow night. Recording this, of course, Wednesday night, like we usually do, but there's like about 24 more hours for you to get them in. If not, she's going to move on and probably face Summer Rae, and then she'll probably get knocked out. But either way, Layla is not disqualified just because she has retired, and it's, you know, based off of who's in the company right now and stuff. I didn't do that before. I'm not going to do it now. So don't worry, Drew. She's still got a shot.
She does. Wow.
Another thing about Divas, Samantha Rotunda, the sister of Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt, received a little bit of a tryout at the WWE Performance Center this time, so maybe she's going to be Sister Abigail or something? I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this something you want to see, or is she kind of just like, well, we've already got 2 Rotundas in there, and IRS pops up, we don't need another one?
Don't care.
Do not give a damn, don't care.
Here, here.
Alright, here's another thing that we probably are going to just go, whoa, God, that's terrible. WWE Studios is going to be making a film that is involved with Shawn Michaels and involved in
I'm there.
this. Well, listen to this. It's the Resurrection of Gavin Stone.
Oh
It's
my god.
about one of the guys from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Brett Dalton, is going to play the main character, and it's some guy who has to do church shit for community service, and tries to get into like doing a play or something, like some church play, and starts to realize that like there's more to life than crime, and religion's awesome.
As soon as you said Shawn Michaels, I was like, oh, dude, if there's anything other than something to do with God or a church, I was going to be very disappointed. And as soon as you said Resurrection, I was just like, thank God, let's go.
Yeah, this sounds like some stupid Lifetime movie or whatever, where somebody's like, my whole life's changed because it's so much better to love God, and everybody gets together on Sunday nights and eats roast beef, and, you know,
Shawn
like...
Michaels be the preacher?
What?
Shawn Michaels better be the preacher.
Oh,
pastor.
God. Yeah, he's just gonna like super kick Brett Dalton or something, and I don't know. We're all in agreement we're not watching this movie, right?
No, if Shawn Michaels does a super kick and goes, the power of Christ compels you, I will watch that.
Wago, you gonna be checking this out?
Yeah, I don't do movies, you know that.
Yeah, but this one.
Oh, well, now you put it that way.
Baden, a no for this one too?
I mean, I'll throw it on my to-watch list that's about 6,000 movies long and, you know, is constantly growing and not at the bottom. So it's gonna be a while, but maybe I'll watch it someday.
5 years from now, you're gonna be like, hey guys, Resurrection of Gavin Stone, and we're gonna be like, what? I finally got around to watching it, and it sucks. Poor HBK. So let's move on to the big story. Hulk Hogan. If you don't know by now,
What happened?
there are so many reports of so many terrible things that Hulk Hogan has said in the past, and it's everything from homophobic slurs to racial slurs. Most of them seem to be race-related. And,
It's really...
yeah, totally botched that, didn't I? I'm not going to break down all of them, because I'm sure I haven't even, read every single one of the reports and stuff, but of course, a lot of it boils down to the sex tape, and some of it boils down to a podcast that he's done, and now I think the latest thing is something about, he was talking to his son Nick about the people that are on, in prison with him, and that a lot of them are black or something, and some of them are lesbians, or... I've lost track of all this shit. There's going to be a post up on Smark Out Moment soon that Leslie's going to be taking care of about running down everything that's kind of going on with this, and it's long as hell already, and there's just more keeps being added to it. WWE released Hulk Hogan. They've scrubbed him from like as much as they possibly could. Do you guys think this is the right idea, or are they going overboard?
in this modern society where people overreact to stuff like this all the time, I think they knew the oncoming storm that was going to come from the media. As much as they did scrub him, it doesn't make a freaking difference. They know where Hulk Hogan was. Like, I was, when this first broke, one of the first things I saw posted was for like a local anchor for some sort of local news affiliate. And he had posted on his Facebook page. And as he was making it, he tagged former WWE superstar Hulk Hogan. So he even tagged to go take you to the WWE Facebook page. Like, this was like a horrible thing to happen for WWE, and I can't blame them for taking every step they need to, especially when it's not like Hulk Hogan's bringing them too much. You know, if this was someone like The Rock, maybe they might try to like make some extra steps to try to cover it up and keep it hush-hush. But Hulk Hogan, like, nah, cut ties. Peace, brother.
Just taking this, Drew, or you're not?
Well, you know what? Like, he has had were all like the quotes that like people pulled up from like interviews back from like 2012, or were there more recent ones? Because I really haven't looked into much of this since like Saturday, mainly because fuck, that is when this story came up. I think the Brian and Brand posted something in the Mega Maniacs group, which facebook.com/the Mega Maniac, whatever. But for the most part,
facebook.com/group/the Mega Maniacs.
Yeah, but he posted something that was like they removed him because of like him possibly like doing like a Big Brother thing in like the UK, and I was like, oh, that's such bullshit. And then like we saw some other stuff like about how he said some racist things, and it's like, oh man, I guess I'll wake up in the morning and see how he's like banned forever. And damn, they got him good. A part of me has always been like, oh come on, I would not be surprised at all if Hulk Hogan turned out to say something dumb in an interview and be racist. So I'm not surprised that it actually happened. I wasn't like predicting this would happen or anything, if that means, but you have got to know better in this day and age to say something like that. You can't. And if you do, you better pray to God it never comes out, because we live in a world where anything of just racist in general is going to get shut down, mainly because it's something that people shouldn't be doing anymore. Yeah, we crack our jokes on here, but you know, we do it probably not a good intention. But listen, we don't have the star power of a Hulk Hogan, who was considered possibly the greatest wrestler superstar of all time, if you think about it. So, you know what?
You're like, you lost me here, Drew.
Lost me about 15 minutes ago, but
nah, at the end of the day, it's like this: Hulk Hogan is gone, and you know what? Good riddance, because you don't need people like that in the WWE. You know, people in the past probably have said something stupid and lost their job. I think Hulk Hogan deserves it. He wasn't doing much, like Peyton said, to like bring in money or anything, mainly because Hulk Hogan is not a name anymore. The most in recent years, the most news he's had is, hey, I had a sex tape that one time, and it was probably terrible. Waco, didn't you watch that?
I think I watched some of it. I don't remember. Probably blocked it out.
Yeah. Okay, so like, he doesn't mean anything to the company anymore, and whether or not he actually gets kicked out of the Hall of Fame, I doubt it. But man, that's just something terrible for WWE. And fuck, dude, I don't blame him. I might get as far away as him as possible, make him no memory at all. So it'll be interesting to see in the coming months what happens. But as of right now, I guess I'll say bye to the Hulk Hogan.
Wago, do you think that they're going a little bit overboard with this? Especially since there's been a lot of reports from black celebrities that are saying Hogan's not racist, you know, we've been cool for the longest time, and now there's a lot of people, of course, that are also saying, like, hey, he was in a bad spot when this happened, and, you know, you get stressed out, and sometimes, you know, you just happen to be a little bit more on edge, and shit bothers you, and a lot of people are also arguing, well, how many other people in WWE have said this kind of crap and it just hasn't leaked out yet, and it's just a PR kind of a thing?
Well, do I think it's an overreaction from the public? Yes. From WWE standpoint, no, because at the end of the day, they look out for number one, and I don't blame them at all. Anyone that gets mad at them for not standing by Hogan's a fucking idiot. So as far as Hulk Hogan and the morality of it all, people like to say he was in a shitty place, and he no doubt was. His son had that accident. He got thrown in jail.
He was in TNA.
He was in TNA. His fucking wife left him. There's no doubt, but you don't suddenly become a racist homophobe when you're depressed. But I don't think Hogan is by any means anyone that's fucking malicious and a KKK leader like people have fucking want to make him out to be. Can you honestly say in the last 8 months, well, fucking for us, probably the last 2 weeks, 8 years, have you ever said anything along the lines of what he said? I'm pretty sure everybody on the fucking globe has.
Nope.
Yeah, you have.
Nope.
So I think this is a huge overreaction. People say worse shit than that every day of their fucking life. It might not be directly about race, but it's about something. So, fuck 'em.
When it comes to the Hall of Fame, a lot of people are saying he should be taken out of that. I personally, my opinion on this whole thing, very similar to what you guys have been saying. WWE did something that I don't expect them to not do. They have to, of course, distance themselves from him and all that. But at the same time, I do think that a lot of this reaction is a little bit of an overreaction to it because it's terrible. Something he shouldn't have said. Any of these things that are coming out are things that he shouldn't have necessarily said. And some people are arguing, well, it was private. Well, it doesn't matter if it's private. You know, if you have that kind of an opinion and you are a public figure, even if you're not a public figure, and you say what you said, then you kind of need to have some kind of like a reaction to it. I mean, you can be a nobody in the middle of ShopRite and say something racist, and if people go, wow, you're horribly racist, that's a response that you're going to get. So Hogan can't hide behind, it was leaked and it shouldn't have been leaked. Well, you shouldn't have said it. But at the same time, I think that a lot of people are very, very happy to vilify anything that they can. And we see, you know, people vilify nothing. I'm not saying that this is nothing, but we see people go nuts over, like, I identify as something, 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 and you are offending me because you posted a picture of a goddamn tree, and that reminded me of something, or, like, just the stupidest, randomest crap. And people would have loved the idea of jumping on this from the very beginning. There could have been accusations that Hogan said something and no proof, and immediately Hogan would have been, Hogan's a racist. That kind of a thing bothers me, and I think that the way that a lot of people are looking at this is like, WWE, we should treat it like the Chris Benoit thing. Fuck no. Chris Benoit was so much worse.
Especially about the Hall of Fame thing. If you want to take Hulk Hogan out for being a racist, then you probably need to take out anyone who was wrestled in the 80s or 70s, because I'm pretty sure they were all fucking
Iron Sheik never should have went in.
Exactly. Iron Sheik says horrible shit all the time, and nobody goes nuts because Iron Sheik is just Iron Sheik. And there's people like the whole Snuka situation. You don't see people going clamoring for that every time.
And Ultimate Warrior is one of their biggest bigots they have. So.
And he has a freaking the Warrior Award and stuff. And it's like, you know, yes, it makes perfect sense for them to kick him out of Tough Enough. He shouldn't be on WWE TV when people can be like, that guy's maybe a racist. And WWE's going, isn't this guy a legend? And all that kind of stuff. But keep his stuff on the network. Keep his... I'd take his profile off of the website, keep him in the Hall of Fame, don't put him on WWE TV for a while, and if he has to go through some kind of, like, discrimination counseling or whatever like that, I mean, I'm sure he's going to want to do that anyway for his, like, publicists and stuff are going to, you know, try to help his image out. That's not the end of the world. Like, he's not somebody who now we should all start getting, I think I wrote this actually in the little thing, the news update that I posted on it. We shouldn't be treating this as like we should go kill Frankenstein's monster. He's said racist things and homophobic things and stuff. That's bad. He doesn't deserve to get some kind of like complete wash over and, well, it's Hulk Hogan and we don't care. No, he said some bad stuff. People should be mad at him. But in no way is this the same as Chris Benoit. And people can't act like it is. That's overboard to me.
Thing is, if you want to say Hulk Hogan's a horrible person, you've got a whole lot more valid evidence for him being a horrible person throughout his entire life, let alone this fucking thing. So, Hogan's a piece of shit, but he was a successful piece of shit, and he's a part of my childhood. And I'm still going to be a Hulk Hogan fan regardless.
Yeah, I'm too young on him. When I think of Hulk Hogan, I've always thought of hey, that guy's old and sex tape, yeah. So I don't have much of an opinion of him other than oh yeah, he's that guy in the Hall of Fame, and now he's not a part of the company. So he's done a lot for the business, but just fuck me, dude. Just like this is just terrible, 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 terrible. The worst possible thing that ever happened in the history of WWE.
Do you guys think Hogan's ever coming back?
Oh,
yeah. If so, when?
5 years.
Is he gonna still be around for 5 years?
No, he'll be dead by then, but as soon as he dies, he'll be like, in a couple years past. Oh yeah. As soon as he's dead, I think that's like the best way of putting it. I think he'll die in sometime in the next couple of years anyways. He's gonna fall into a deep depression. And I hate to be terrible by saying that, but people get really depressed sometimes, and if they get I don't think he'll kill himself, but some people just die of depression, and wouldn't surprise me if Hulk Hogan's in that boat.
Wago, you're good at predicting when people get down with a bunch of ailments. Is that going to happen?
Will he get diverticulitis?
No, I think his head will just keep swelling until it pops.
When's he coming back to WWE? Or is he never coming back to Wago?
I think the Wago. I heard that too, but I wasn't sure if I just made it up in my head that I heard it or if he actually said it.
No, I actually said it. The Wago.
So this is what the Wago thinks. The Wago thinks that Hulk Hogan is going to be back in 5 years. Do you smell what the Wago's cooking? It's kind of like The Rock Jr.
Shove that son of a bitch sideways.
Peyton, are you going with the 5-year marker or something else?
It's going to take at least that long, but I'm curious if Hulk Hogan will survive. I mean, this whole media storm is going to die down 3 months maximum. But this will never, ever be forgotten about with the name Hulk Hogan. Anytime anyone talks about Hulk Hogan now, the joke is going to be that he's a racist. Just like Michael Jackson touched little boys, which I firmly believe never happened.
Really?
And I believe he slept with children. I believe he was a weirdo, but he may have his reasons for that, and that's an argument for another day. But I think he was falsely accused of that, and it never escaped him. Never escaped him. So that's how it's going to be for Hulk Hogan.
You can move past something and not escape it, though. I mean, let's face it, Mike Tyson. People don't think of Mike Tyson anymore as the fucking rapist woman abuser anymore. He's a personality and a celebrity, which people oddly enough love now. So I think there's time for Hogan to move past and people to fall in love with him again.
Mike Tyson was in his prime, though. Hulk Hogan's not. He could die any time now, and I wouldn't be surprised about it.
Okay, assuming that Dr. Drew doesn't predict his fucking death in the next few years, I think he'll move past it.
What do you think Hogan's going to be?
Drew is a sex doctor.
What do you think Hogan's going to be doing, though? I mean, he can't go to just, anywhere.
What the fuck Hogan wants. He's probably going to try to make a reality show so he can make his comeback, and he'll probably try to open another restaurant, and he might try to do a movie or something. He'll do whatever he wants. He's Hulk Hogan.
I heard this is stuff for him in Metallica.
What if he, turned into the Skid and started doing, overboard, anti-racial stuff that came off more racist? He said he's opening up a restaurant. What if he's gonna... One of the accusations was that his old restaurant was very anti-urban, I think people were classifying it, which is that's so fucking funny of a phrase. But that, the dress code had all this stuff that a lot of black people necessarily wear, and what if he went for the total opposite, and he was just gonna I want to embrace this so much, so let's do everything that I apparently had a problem with in the past. It's popping up in all these what's the name of that, the fucking Medea movies and stuff like that. I could see Hogan being stupid enough to pull that off. Doing a reality show of him getting back in with that kind of culture or something, and you're his facepalm moment.
I facepalm every time Hogan tries to walk upstairs.
You frequently watch Hogan walking upstairs?
No, because the camera pans away from it every time he does.
What would you like to see from Hogan?
Not his sex tape?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all?
To be honest, Tony, what does the guy have left?
I don't know. That's one of the reasons why I'm like, I don't know what's next for him, because he can't just go to like a wrestling company like he could with, you leave WWE, you go to TNA. You can't do that.
He staggered his fucking old ass to WrestleMania 30, botched his fucking lines, made some shitty commercials, and I got sick of him then. I'm done with Hogan. I've had my fill. It's been a fucking long time. I've had plenty of Hulk Hogan.
Tony, do you want more of Hulk Hogan? Do you want him to come back and win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship? Is that what you're saying?
To win the world title? No. But I think that, there's like some kind of a weird void that would be in like pop culture if Hulk Hogan ceased to exist.
He's pretty much ceased to exist for a while now. I don't pay much attention to pop culture anyways, but from what I know, he hasn't been relevant in a long time anyways.
Any suggestions for what he should do, Peyton?
Fuck off.
Oh, poor Hogan.
You're sympathizing the guy now? Jesus, Tony, jeez.
In that regard, if like, I can just imagine this conversation, like Hogan's talking to his publicist or his, PR person or whatever, and he's like, so, brother, what does the internet think that I should do next? And I'm like, I'm going to read this quote here from Smack Talk. A Mr. Mike Payton says Hogan should fuck off next. Alright, well that's it for the hot tags, everybody. Make sure you leave your comments below. Tell us what you think about all these different things, particularly the Hulk Hogan situation. Do you think that things are going overboard? Do you think that WWE is not doing enough? Should he be, essentially in the entertainment world just castrated or something, I guess? What do you think about Layla? What do you think about Alicia Fox? Who would replace her on Team Bella? Are you going to buy the pay-per-views for $4.99 if you don't have the network? Would you like to see Samantha Rotunda? And are you watching this terrible friggin' Resurrection of Gavin Stone movie when that comes out? And if we missed any other hot tags, of course, leave those in the comments below and we'll try to respond to them as well. We're going to just take a break here right now, though, with the rest hold. We're going to come back after that with our main event. So stay tuned. Click on part 3, and we'll be